2, 1. And we're live at last.
Lovely jubbly.
We're live at last. Richie, Davey.
Hello, boys.
How are you guys doing? Are you all right?
Yeah, champion.
You
Looking
both
forward to the playoff.
looking forward to the playoff. You're both looking well anyway.
Looking forward to the playoff.
Oh, I'm just getting my thingy showing up so I can see. Yeah, it's got the chat loaded up already. He's had a canny week.
Aye. Nice to see, but nice weather. Like canny weather, innit?
You know, it's a bit.
Aye.
It's a shame. It's a bit crap now. Like,
Aye.
Yeah, I've had a couple of days down the beach when it was nice. It was still a bit cold.
Aye,
like,
right
but,
now.
I had my shorts on, had the t-shirt on, hardening it up. You know what I mean?
but Davey, we'll start with you, fella.
Yeah.
That was abominable on Saturday, wasn't it? That was just disgraceful. That.
It's just awful to watch at the moment, but you've got to look at the bigger picture, Cabbie. You've got to look at the bigger picture. And when things will be all right, man. You watch, things will be all right.
I know. It's a risky. Eddie Bamber's just popped in. Hello, Eddie. All right, mate. How's things with you?
Already.
Oh, Eddie.
Yeah, it's because I mean I've listened to Total Sport and stuff, and you know what Benno's worried about is the fact like you can't just turn it on like that. Do you know what I mean? That's what he's worried about is the fact like if he's on purposely holding back and having bad performances, then you can't just turn a switch and expect to be world beaters when the playoffs start. You've got to go into the playoffs with some sort of form, eh?
Cabbie, but you're a month away from that talk.
Aye.
It's a month away before the first playoff game.
It's not fair on the fans though, Davey, is it? They're paying money to go and watch that.
Shame. It's a shame we're not kind of pulling some decent performances out, as well as resting players and sorting themselves out. It is a shame. That is a shame because people pay a lot of money to go and watch it. Like,
You
it's
know,
as if it's free.
and it just has a pre-season friendly written all over it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
What did you think, Richie?
Put it simply, shite. To be honest. No, I was at the game on Saturday. It was poor. It was poor. Even the atmosphere in the stadium was bad as well. You know what I mean? It was terrible. And then the fact that about 3 or 4 rows down from us, all I had was just some pissed up bloke effing and blinding every single time Tommy Watson got the ball. You effing this, you effing that. Yeah, we're gone, man. So, it was a disappointing day, like, innit? I mean, I just didn't get it, like, but there's a few things I picked up on, but it was just like a training match, wasn't it? It was just getting the energy into some of the lads' legs. Are sitting on the bench week in and week out, and that's all it's for, really, at the minute, I think.
Got Jacob just joining us too. I don't know what you're saying. Jacob, are you all right, mate? Can you hear?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. How's everyone?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. What did
Champions.
you think? What did you think of the match, mate?
Just not good enough, really. But at the same time, the officiating was terrible. You know, every time our player went in the box, oh, it's offside. You're offside. Oh, you're offside. And we should have had a penalty in the second half. So it just tells you everything. I mean, that's not an excuse, but something needs to change with officials because it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it was a penalty, that?
I think it was, to be honest.
It was. Stomped on his foot.
How far's the referee from where it happened? And he's not that far, is he? So he's clearly seen it, but why is he not giving it?
He's a shocking ref, him, like.
I think we've had him before, haven't we? Didn't
Aye,
we have
we
him
have.
for Hull City at home? I think he was the referee in that
Aye.
game.
Yeah, he's terrible.
I'm just adjusting the camera again.
Should be demoted. Should demote him to League 2 or something like that.
I think he was right mind about the penalty decision. I mean, I've had a look at it, and I don't think there was enough contact for that penalty to be honest with you. I can see why he didn't give it. You know, but
If had VAR would have been given like Cabbie. And when you watch it back, you can see him stamping on his left foot.
I'll have to have a
Well,
I'll
it's
have to have a good look.
championship, innit? We haven't got that.
But saying that though, I mean Jacob is right. The referee was awful, but I mean, so were we. We just didn't do a thing. I didn't think Swansea were all that mind. I'm not going to be blowing sunshine up their backsides. I'm just going to catch up with a chat if that's all right.
Yeah.
Packer Andrew says, can't wait for big Davey reaction. He says there will be fireworks. Bring it on, Davey. Steve Taylor's in. Hello, Stevie. All right, mate. He says, good evening. He says, the only reason I can think why we are not playing well is to give the other playoff teams a false sense of security. Okay. Ian Brown says, good evening, lads. David Walker says, hi, Cabbie, Davey and Rich. And Jacob just popped in. Says hello to Jacob. Tricia says, I can't wait to hear what Davey has got to say. Either Andrew says, I'm already laughing at the thought of it. And Eddie Bamber says, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Eddie, mate. How are you doing, mate? I hope you are well. Stephen Martin says, again, I think it's all because Dodds left. Yes, he was crap last season, but the players like him. Now, what do you guys think? I mean, we've said that a few times, haven't we, about Dodds? I mean, are you guys having it? Do you think the players are missing Dodds? Why we've not been so good, or is that just a stab in the dark?
Yeah.
I mean, you can get over a girlfriend in a couple of weeks, man. How long's Dodsey been left to there? Sunderland. It's been a canny while now. Like we kind of just keep saying that, like, because the players have got to adapt, man. They've got to adapt to the new thing. We can't just keep moping about saying, "Oh, we're missing," and this is the reason why we're playing crap. It's not. You know what I mean? The professionals at the end of the day, man. They should have somebody in to replace him if that's the fact. But not for me, like Cabbie. I think we've got to just move on from the Dodds thing, like.
What do you reckon, Jacob? Do you think the players miss Doddsy?
I don't think so, but I think it's lingered, and him leaving Sunderland's probably lingered with the players a bit and probably played on the mind. But they shouldn't let it get to them. They should just continue on building momentum for the playoffs.
Aye, I know what you're saying. Tricia says, evening everyone. Come on, Davey. I've waited all day for your reaction to that crap on Saturday. She's disappointed, Davey, because you're in a good mood about it.
I mean, because I've had a good thing over the weekend, man. There's nothing to worry about.
Well, there we go, Tricia. He's being very positive.
Yes, very positive.
John Nesbitt says, a very good evening, boys. Davey, he says, no, they won't. So something he said before. Colin Rowlands, hello. Colin says, hello, lads. Need to play better. Need players back from injury. Eddie Bamber says, very good. Hope you are well. Tricia Winstanley said, replying to Stephen, I totally agree with you. He was a great morale within the team, talking about Dodds. Steve Cook says, have a great show, boys. Stevie's popped in, but he's busy. He's got doing stuff. Cheers for popping in, Cookie. John Nesbitt says, at the match on Saturday, just wondering what I've done to deserve this punishment. Steve Cox says, I was playing golf, John. Best option, playing bloody golf. Tricia says, I think it was a penalty too, but the ref just ignored it. Christ, these messages are flying. And John says, did you watch the Masters, Stevie? Awesome display for some great golfers. It was an incredible match. Rory McIlroy. It was like watching Sunderland playing golf, wasn't it? I don't know if he's watched it, like, but my God, he made you suffer, didn't he? But it was great to watch. I love me golf. David Walker says, good job, we are guaranteed playoffs. You would never thought we got a chance of promotion after that shambles. Colin Mayer just popped in. He says, hi, lads. And he says, hello, Davey, son. From Colin Major.
Colin.
Ian Brown says, Job deserves a rest since he didn't get one during the international break. He says, no rush to bring him back. Geordie, a Newcastle fan, friend of the channel, says, how are the lads? Ian Brown says, we've got an imposter Cabbie. He's all right, Geordie. He's always an Ian man. You guys should be winning the playoffs, said Geordie. And there's a few Newcastle fans actually rooting for us to do well in the playoffs, you know. Rooster says, Dodds get our FFS. Tricia says, okay, Davey, if you say so. Oh, dear me. It's crazy, man. So, Jacob, Davey reckons this is all tactical. This is, let's just not panic. What do you think? When you look at that performance against Swansea, are you bothered about that? Or is Davey right? He's like, we should just chill out and just take a chill pill. Why go hell for leather and risk getting injuries?
Yeah, I think that can be a good point. However, you do want to go into the playoffs on good momentum, don't you? Like, if we rest at games where you lose, it's not good momentum. I'd rather us still go and get some wins, even though we've got not much to play for now. Just on a momentum scale of things.
On the momentum. So Jacob reckons it should be a momentum going into the playoffs. And Gary Bennett has said the same thing on Total Sport a few times about momentum. Richie, what do you reckon? Do you agree with Davey? He says, not to panic. I'm just turning this heating down. Hold on. Carry on.
I mean, I hope that's the plan. I hope Reggie's got a plan like that. I've seen a few people say that as well, actually, and I didn't think about it, to be fair. But I think what he's doing at the minute is we've got that place pretty much cemented now. I think he's just given the rest of the team sort of like the match conditioning, if you like, just getting a bit of energy into the legs, just in case. Obviously, we will need them in the playoffs, or God forbid we get any more injuries, and we've still got players on the bench who are like the match fit. And I think that's what he's doing at the minute, is just giving everybody a game.
Yeah. I can actually see, if you flip the coin of it, I can actually see the reason why. I mean, yes, I know you've got to entertain the fans, but you've also, what would the fans be thinking if it went hell for leather and we've got 3 injured players? Lafay got injured again, and thinking,
Exactly.
would the fans then be saying, well, how stupid is Sunderland, for going out for hell for leather like that?
Cabbie.
Yeah.
Cabbie, there's a month to go before the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
There's no team in that playoffs is going to be as fit and ready for what's about to come than Sunderland. Because we've had no games to play, no worries, no physical tackles and flying in like all these other teams, like your Middlesbroughs and your West Broms and your Bristol Cities, all flying into games every week. We're getting everybody fit. We're getting everybody match fit. He's going to get his side the way he wants it. And Sunderland are going to be the favourites for these playoffs. You watch.
It's a massive point what you're saying there, Davey, because, I mean...
Yes.
First of all, let's start from the top end, right? Sheffield United, they're going to be mentally shot to bits. They've been at the top 2 for the majority of the season. And
if they make it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And there's nothing worse than being favourites for the top 2, and you've been in the top 2 for a hell of a long time, and you get 3 absolutely awful results like that, and it looks like their automatic promotion places now are over for them. They're going to be massively dejected going into the playoffs,
Yeah.
And the other teams around us, they aren't secure in the playoffs. Am I right? Or Bristol City, are they secured a playoff spot? Am I right in saying that?
None of them.
No.
So there's only us have secured a playoff spot. So the rest of them are wanting to be playing hell for leather because they want the playoffs.
We'll have been in that position for about 5 to 6 weeks when it comes round. What a position to be in. What a position.
What do you reckon, Jacob?
Yeah.
You reckon
I agree, yeah.
we're the favourites for the playoffs and we're going to go there with a full tank of gas, full tank of fuel?
Oh, big style.
I hope so. It's just Coventry we need to, I'm aware of. That's it. Apart from that, I think we'll be all right. If we've got Coventry, then be a bit concerned. The only team I'm worried about.
That's if Coventry actually get there. They play tonight, don't they? Is it Oxford?
No, Hull.
Is it Hull?
Hull.
I mean, you guys have said this a few times, haven't you? When Sunderland are firing all cylinders, they'll beat anyone in this league. Isn't it?
We would be firing for in all cylinders, wouldn't we? Because we've got everything going for us. Everything.
Is Mundell going to be back for the playoffs, do you think?
Possible.
Possible.
But Enzo will be back, and he is absolutely crucial.
Crucial. When he's on fire, I mean, I always look back at the performances he has. I mean, you know, when he was nutmegging, what was the defender for Middlesbrough called? What's his name?
Aylan.
Oh, Luke Aylan.
Luke Aylan. God's sake, he tortured him, didn't he? He tortured him.
I mean, did you say him on Saturday? Just for like the 10, 15 minutes he played.
I did. Of course I did. Aye.
Absolute different class, man.
Of course he is.
He just reads the game so well. I cannot wait to see him on form. Like, cannot wait.
I mean, Middlesbrough could be the team to watch and all, you know. Middlesbrough, I mean, I watched them against Leeds and I thought they were very unlucky not to get a draw. But saying that, two absolute howlers by the linesman to disallow two perfectly good goals for Leeds. So, I don't know if you've seen all them, but I mean, this is why I think we need VAR in the Championship, because they were absolutely horrific decisions by the linesman to disallow them goals. It was awful. It's going to go back on the chat again, catch up with our lovely viewers. John says we have more chance of going to lunch with the king than those bunch of losers. That's what John says. You're entitled to your opinion, mate. Ollie says, if they blame for every bad performance because of Dodd's leaving, it's like me at school being lacklustre at school because my favourite teacher left. And David says, the only games that matter now is the playoffs. We can't afford to get more injuries.
Exactly.
Packer says, I had a rant on my channel after he played his match. He says, I was so disappointed. My little cousin cried his eyes out after the game. I think 42,000 fans did as well in the Stadium of Light. Didn't look like 42,000 in there, but apparently there was. John says, the playoffs are a million miles away from us. This coach can't get a tune out of these lot. He says, they are supposed to be professional. He says, could have fooled me. And a few fans have been having a go at Regis Labrie, you know, saying how's he going to get us motivated for the playoffs? But look at the flip side. Look how he got us playing at the beginning of the season. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Blowing teams away. We know what he can do. Davey says, only us and one of the top three. And David Walker said it's still 0-0 between Hull and Coventry. There was a bloke in, I don't know who he is, called Kevin Ware. Hello, Kevin, how are you doing?
Kevin!
He says, I want Borough in the semi and Sheffield United in the final. He says, would also be great to see Wembley full of red and white stripes. Do you know what? If we got Sheffield United in the final, we'd murder them. I think Sheffield United is so dejected, and I've watched them the last 3 defeats. They've been awful. Well, I watched them against Plymouth, and they give up. When Plymouth equalised, Sheffield United just give up. And when I looked at that performance, I thought, how were they being top and second off top for so long?
Yeah, they've hit the wall, haven't they?
Well, yeah. John Nesbitt says, Davey, Lafay is a class act. He says, unfortunately, it's the Muppets he's playing with. That's the problem. Steve Taylor says, that pass to Mienda off Lafay was absolutely world class. It's not lunch, it's dinner, says Hall. Disillusionised, I think. The January recruit was crap. He says, only Sunderland could sign a player who has an injury and will never play again. I mean, it's been confirmed, hasn't it, that Jayden Danns is just not going to make an appearance for Sunderland. Fractured on his spine or something, a fracture on his spine. Jacob, what do you reckon of that? Jayden Danns with his spine, do you reckon there's something not quite right there?
Yeah, it was a waste of time, wasn't it, getting him, I think.
But you kind of tell me, though, Jacob, that somebody didn't know somewhere along the lines, especially the medical stuff that Liverpool's got. It's something not right, like. Yeah. Something not right.
I don't blame Sunderland, like.
No.
No.
Not at all, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no excuse. What do you reckon, Rich? With Jayden Danns, there's no excuse, is there, for that?
It's just like I said to you weeks and weeks ago, Cabbie, it's just desperation, isn't it? just whoever we can get in, really. But I think it just goes to prove one thing, that Liverpool's going to have to look at their medical side, because if we were the ones that found out, we sent them back saying, "Oh, what's going on with this kid?" And then they were like, "Oh, right, he has got a bad back." It's like, come on, man, really? Was it a big mistake by us, or was it Liverpool just trying to push him? You know what I mean? For the loan, whatever it was just a bad error.
It just doesn't make Speakman look good, does he? I mean, injured players, the amount of injured players he's signing. I'm gonna chuck in Pavida in there as well. I mean, 4 injured players we've signed literally in the transfer windows, and it's just he's got to change his ways. Like if we do get promoted, can you imagine if the same things happened in the Premier League? We against for 4 signings and they're all injured. He said, "I've got some great players here, lads and lasses, but they won't be available until November." I mean, how? He needs to kick up the jacksie for that, man.
Player, isn't it?
Eh?
Davey's favourite player, Pavida, isn't it?
Oh.
Worst signing ever in football, but you've just got to move away from him, like.
You've do. Aye. Packer Andrew says, "I've lost confidence in our managers, but I will soldier on through. But the fact is, our manager needs a talking to as well," says Packer. Pixel Rich, good to see you, mate. He's in the chat. He says, "I'll chuck this in, lads." He says, "Why are we using Patterson also as a defender? It seems like that Saturday," he says, "loads around me were saying this. Why are we using Patterson also as a defender?"
It's a keeper. That's what they do. They come out and they assist the defence. That's what, like, it's a modern day thing now with keepers.
Keepers do it. All keepers do that.
Yeah, aye. Look at Donnarumma at PSG. He's another one as well. Loads of them do it.
Kevin Ware says, "We are far better off with Dan's and not being able to play for Dan paying for 10 million for Cannon." Yeah, Cannon's done absolutely nout at Sheffield United.
Yeah, and they nearly paid that.
I know they did. And so's the other fella they paid for as well for Sheffield United. He's been done nout either. Can't remember what he was called. Ollie says, "When is Niall Huggins available and how was he injured for so long?" Does any of you guys want to give a recap about how was Niall Huggins injured?
Well, he done his crochet. That was beginning of the season, wasn't it? And I heard the other day there that there's a chance that he could be back for the playoffs, but I very much doubt it. Like, you wouldn't be able to have them. I kind of think of him having the match fitness to be. But you never know. I mean, Serkin's got a chance of being back. I think he would be in the team and all, Serkin.
Yeah. I thought this to Richie because there's a lot of fans been messaging me about this one as well. Is it concerning, Richie? And I'll throw it to all you lot as well. He's done 9 games without a goal.
I was going to bring that up tonight. Like, I mean, for weeks and weeks and weeks, our attack has been just dreadful. I mean, there's no like, there's just nobody to finish. There's no quality up there to finish it. Like, I might be sounding a bit harsh to people here, like, but Isidore and Mayenda for me are not strikers. I mean, they can play in that position, but Isidore's not a striker. I mean, he scored some worldly goals for us this season. Don't get us wrong, he's got, 12 goals for it, but he's been abysmal for pretty much the second half of the season. He's not somebody you can depend on, like. And Mayenda comes and goes, like, you know what I mean? He'll have a game where he's unbelievable, and then he'll drift off, and then he might have another decent game, then drift off. We'll kind of just depend on that going into the playoffs. Because that's what I'm concerned about, is where attack and play. And just a little stat for you as well. The last time we scored from open play was that Romain Mundle goal. The rest have been from corners and free kicks. We haven't scored an open play goal for about 6 games now. And there's a thing I noticed on Saturday as well. We were playing so narrow. Like, Tommy Watson and Patrick Roberts were coming in off that wing. And it was there was just no room. It was just so congested going forward and getting into that penalty box. There was like 6 or 7 of our players in that box at one point. There's just no room for manoeuvre. We couldn't get shots off because they had a load back. It was just, I don't know, I kind of trust we're going forward, and that is worrying us going in these playoffs. Like,
Jacob, are you concerned with Isidore's goal drought?
He hasn't scored. I don't know when was the last time he scored, because he needs a goal, I think, to boost his confidence, because I think his head's not been in the right space, is it? So he does need a goal, I think.
Davey, he's got to sort his runs out. The amount of times he keeps getting caught offside.
It's not like I've said here earlier on. It's all looking bad at the minute. But once our full side's back, you'll totally see a different team creating chances, and Isidore will be part of that. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. Look at our formation on Saturday. That wasn't Sunderland, man.
It was unrecognisable. That's what I call it.
Exactly. So we're playing totally different just to get through the games, and you'll just see the switch like that. You watch. We'll have all the pressing and everything. Rig will be right back of his normal cell, pressing everybody. You'll have the lads banging down the sides, ice it on them. We're not going to get the ball off them. You watch.
God, I hope you're so right. Honest to God.
I know.
If you thought the Wembley win against Wickham was good, can you imagine what this one would be like?
Oh, it'll be amazing. Amazing.
Bloody hell.
The semi-final will be amazing.
So what do we have to do to get? Would you rather have a return leg at home or away?
We've got it perfect.
You've got it perfect.
We're home in the last leg.
Some fans say it don't matter. Last time that happened, we lost to Lincoln City.
It'll happen. It'll happen. You watch.
John says, give out to Davey. You're on about, he says, our worst signing was Rodwell. I think you on about, when he says about Pavida.
He's not far behind him.
Tricia says, Mienda is not consistent. Every now and again is not enough. He says he has to be on form in every game. Packer says, Isidore's gone off the boil for goals. And then Mienda, I have not heard much from him. On the commentary, as few fans said, Isidore seems to have gone off the ball since he's signed for the contract full time. But I just think that's a coincidence. No what else. John says Dave's fantasizing.
Well, I'll see.
I know. Libri, D Hall says Libri said that Ballard is on a similar time frame as Sirkin in terms of his return. He says so. The hope that he'll be able to make some minutes under his belt before the playoffs. Ballard's a mismind, isn't he?
Yeah.
Pixel Rich says...
Nothing's been all right, you know.
Meth in the last few games. Yeah.
Ballard's big just to be in the side, like whether he starts or... He's just a good player, like...
Pixel Rich says, really admiring Davey's confidence tonight. He says, yeah, I've got a Wembley trip booked. He says, got to be done.
Yes.
Steve Taylor says, I can't work out where you've got your confidence from, Davey. He says, but I really hope that you're right.
Yeah.
And Michael Taylor says, hope Davey's right. Why is he not resting 09? Do you think we should rest 09?
He's just one of them players that just keeps playing, doesn't he? I think resting 09 would be detrimental to him, to tell you the truth. It's a bit like Hume, isn't it? Why we're not resting Hume when he's injured?
Imagine missing Hume in the playoffs.
He's played through every game, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
There's just certain players can play, man. Certain players can play. Whereas if you had certain, you'd be locking them up, wouldn't you?
Ian Brown says Ballard is a top class. He says if KLD can't be asked to get his money out of his pocket, he's worthy replacement for Metham. And John says Davey never missed a match all season, including your first 11. Seen two great performances: Sheffield Wednesday and Oxford. Is it still 0-0 between Hull and Coventry? If anybody knows. Tell you what caught my eye as well. What did you think of some of the Sunderland fans booing Watson when his name was read out in the teams?
It's not nice to hear. Like, and like I say, I had a bloke on there. There was a bloke on Saturday, 3 or 4 rows down from us, man. He was just, every time he got the ball, it was effing this, yeah, effing that. And it's what gives the lad a break, man. You know what I mean? You're not seeing the bigger picture here, you know. But, I mean, Watson didn't put in a performance for anything to shout about, you know what I mean? It was a bit of a laid-back performance, but
Yeah.
we've got to just let it go. We've just got to accept the fact he's gone and just, you know, wish him well. I mean, I think it's just one of them things. We're just a little bit, well, some fans are a little bit bitter because he's come through academy and he's a Sunderland born and bred lad. We didn't want to lose for him, but these things happen, man. And I think we've got a good price for him. Just move on.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he's good enough anyway. Really, I don't.
Jacob, what do you reckon? Do you think the fans are right to boo him?
Nah.
Not really, no.
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 I reckon that's just the minority just being petty. I mean, you can't deny the lad getting probably 10 times more salary than what he's getting here, can you? He's got to think of his career, hasn't he?
Move on from it. Just be say one thing. I'm thankful he's there at the minute because we can deal with him. Because I don't want to be that and Isidore all the time in the next 6 weeks.
And them same players booing him, are they not going to celebrate if he scores the winning goal at Wembley?
Aye.
Where, man? Give your heads a wobble. They'd be cheering if Alan Shearer ran on the pitch and it came off his arse and went in and won. Do you know what I mean? He'd be a hero, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So the games are coming thick and fast, aren't they? There's the both, can you believe it, both 3 o'clock kickoffs as well, Friday and Monday. So I'll be working normally on this Friday, right? Away at Bristol City.
Good Friday.
Good Friday. That's going to be a tasty game.
Yeah.
And then Blackburn at home, and Blackburn, they started off really well, didn't they? And they're really poor, them, at the minute, like.
That's where you'll get a few of your goals you're asking for, Cabbie.
34 minutes gone in the Coventry match. It's still 0-0. Cheers, David and Stephen, for the update. Ian Brown says about Watson, he says he isn't good enough. Watson, he says he's just greedy, but Brighton is the best club to turn him into a great player.
Yeah, we are.
David Walker says we only got early kickoffs last game of the season. I think that's against QPR, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aye, so wait, Davey's positive. There's a few people disappointed. Davey,
There's lots of people positive. If you get on the websites, honestly.
aye, because you were. I mean, I've seen the clips when you're on. Kev was taking like, and you didn't seem concerned. You just seemed quite chilled out.
I'm not. I think we've got the best team. Simple as that. I've said it all season, and nothing's changed my mind.
I was expecting the TV to be launched at the Ducks out the window.
No. Can't wait to get the lads back. The likes of Rig and them firing. He'll be vital in the playoffs, Rig, by the way.
Jacob, I'll ask you, who would you like to start? Who would you like to play against Bristol City on that Friday night? If you're still about.
I'd go with 4-4-2.
You go 4-4-2?
Yeah. I think we need 2 strikers up at top, Mayenda and Wilson.
Still stick with Mayenda and Wilson?
Yeah. But I think Lafitte needs to start as well, doesn't he?
Oh, no.
Davey reckons no.
No way.
Is he the diamond in the rough we have to look after?
He's an absolute diamond. If you want us to perform, you ask Joe Bellingham, Dan Neil, people like that, if he's vital to us, our team. And saying that, Job is a massive difference to Sunderland, mind you.
Are they just resting Job at the minute? What's up with him?
Yeah, He gives us legs, man. We've got no legs anywhere in the pitch. No legs at all.
John
John,
got a knock. That's why he's been rested. But
you got a knock.
how far that? Apparently.
He's got 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
John Nesbitt says, doesn't matter who we are playing, you can't get a tune from these lads. He says, Davey, best team. No, mate, nowhere near. So John's got he's every right to have his opinion, and he's I think he's going on by the last few performances, and I've read a lot of social media stuff, and there is a lot of fans saying like we're not gonna be doing anything with that because they're going by the way they've been playing.
Last month.
You know, but on the positive side,
on the other side of things, Cabbie, the last 4 weeks, if we just won four games, 4-0, going into the playoffs, is that the playoffs over? Then we're just sorted.
No, I know.
2 ways looking at it. It wouldn't be, you know. It certainly wouldn't be.
It's just mad how much we've closed the gap on Sheffield United when you think they were about 12 points ahead of us at one point. If only we kept on trying to go for it, we could have, could have chased the top 2, but I don't know. Leeds, it looks like Leeds and Burnley are doing it as far as I'm concerned. Jonathan Arnold says, bit late to the show. He says, it feels and looks like everyone's gave up, he says. No fight in them. He says, no way we even make it to Wembley. But he says he hopes I'm wrong. So John's another one that's going on by the recent performances. Davey, as Davey said, if you look back on the show, Jonathan, Davey said there's a method in the madness, the reason why we are where we are. We're saving ourselves. We're saving ourselves.
Yeah, they'll be the fittest bunch of lads you've ever seen in your life when these playoffs come round. Like pre-season.
Ollie says, guys, he says, there were kids taking pens at half-time at the SAFC Cardiff match. This is the kids take better pens than our players. Like one just calmly put it into the top left-hand corner. Ollie, that's probably because they've got zero pressure. You've got no pressure at all. You're just having a bit of fun. You could tell when Isidore went to take them penalties against Burnley, he looked like stiff as cardboard, didn't he? He just looked so uncomfortable. Ian Brown says, Davey is right. Job is a grafter and a game changer. He said similar to Hume. Jonathan also says Job needs to release the ball a lot earlier than what he's been doing, and I hope he's right, mate. Jonathan is going on about Davey. Hope he's right. John says, I'll say it again, 18 points lost in the last 10 minutes of matches. Where would that have put us? Says Jonathan. He's got a good point. I mean, we have chucked a lot of games away late on, haven't we?
Yeah.
Goodness me. And Ollie says, if we don't make it to Wembley, he says, I'll just have a weekend down London anyway.
We're gonna make it, man. Of course we are. However,
Man. We'll
just,
So who
I just we've got to
carry on, Rich?
I believe that he's got a plan. He's got a plan, man. Like Davey's saying, we've got a plan.
Yeah.
I think it'll just be different when we get in the playoffs. Like
Jacob, who do you reckon he'll be in the playoffs with Sunderland come the end of the season then?
So who'll be in the playoffs?
With Sunderland, yeah.
That's 2 of the last 4.
Yeah, the last 2. I think Sheffield United are there. I can't argue with that. So the last 2 places.
I think Bristol and Coventry.
Ooh, he said that word. Carry on, Jacob, sorry.
Yeah, I think Bristol and Coventry. I think we'll have Bristol in semis. I hate to say it, but I think it will be Coventry at Wembley with us.
Oh.
But I prefer West Brom at Wembley.
No, man. Jacob, we've got to see 4 teams, man.
So, yeah. Trying to think who else. So, us, Sheffield. I think Bristol, Coventry.
That's it.
That's it. You're going with them.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, he's swearing though, Davey and Richie. He's saying Coventry in the final. It'd be like toothache, that, wouldn't it? Imagine that. What who you
Well,
going for? Eh?
I
Sorry.
want West Brom. I want West Brom at Wembley, but it probably won't be them.
Good shout. Not many people are mentioning West Brom, but we haven't got a bad record against them. Who do you think will be in the playoffs with us, Richie, Davey? Then
Definitely one that'll be in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Borough,
You think Borough will be there?
definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about West Brom. I've never seen much of West Brom, and I've never seen nothing of Bristol City really. I've never really watched Bristol City all season. They didn't see it on the telly more, Joe. They seem to be a bit of a dark horse.
Bristol City
But,
just seem to be doing the business unnoticed.
But I think Sheffield will get there. They're not completely gone. So I would imagine it'll be between us and Borough.
What do you reckon, Rich?
I was going to say the same as Davey, Borough. I've got a sneaky feeling it's going to be Borough.
Definitely for
And
Borough.
I've got a sneaky feeling, and I bet you we'll play them in the semis.
Yeah.
I've just got horrible visions of them getting a last minute winner and like I said it last week, picking up the corner flag and putting the shirt on it and running around in front of the Sunderland fans. It's just written in the stars, isn't it? Now that would rub salt in the wounds. Eh?
You had a nightmare about that, didn't you?
I did, aye.
Who do you fear in the playoffs? You shouldn't fear anybody, mind you, but I'll let you have your say.
You shouldn't. Oof. I fear Coventry and Middlesbrough because Middlesbrough's really turned the form on these last few months. They've really, because they were down and out, weren't they? Let's not forget this. They were like below mid-table. They were really bad. But give credit to them. They've really performed well. But I'm going to go for Middlesbrough and Coventry. Coventry for the obvious reasons. We couldn't beat them if we only had the goalkeeper playing. And Middlesbrough because they're on fire. I'm not bothered about Bristol City or Sheffield United, to be honest with you.
Final then.
Hey?
If it's us, who would you rather play in the final?
Who would I rather play in the final?
If we're the one of the two,
Right.
so you've got a choice between. And what else did you say?
Sheffield United, Borough, Bristol City.
Bristol City. So do you think they'll make the semis? Bristol City.
Oh, let's have a look at the league table because I mean,
Yeah. You must be thinking Sunderland's going to make it, or are you still dubious of that?
let's have a look at this. Well, Sheffield United are on 83 points. Sunderland are on 76. We've nailed on the playoffs. Bristol City are on 64. They're 4 points ahead of 7th position, West Brom. And Coventry City are on 63 points as it stands because they're currently 0-0. So they're 3 points above West Brom. And they're
Millwall still in it, aren't they?
Millwall, yep. Millwall, Middlesbrough, West Brom are all on 60 points. If Coventry win tonight, they'll go above Bristol City and it'll be Sun and Coventry playing each other because they'll be on 65 points. They'll swap places with Bristol City. So therefore, Middlesbrough will be 4 points behind Bristol City. So they've got work to do. Middlesbrough, if Bristol City beat us and Coventry win tonight, it's going to be a pretty hard task for Borough to get in. That defeat against Leeds was pretty damaging, to be honest with you.
I think the next 4 weeks will be determinant. I don't think it can be shout. You kind of shouted it till good 2 or 3 more games. Going to be some tests and turns for them teams, which is all the case when they're.
It'd be like the Masters yesterday, up and down, twists and bloody turns.
Apart from us, we'll just be sitting on the beach for 4 weeks.
Well, absolutely, in the paisley thongs.
What more do you want? Come on.
Oh, let's have a look and see Sheffield United's remaining fixtures. Then they're at home against Cardiff. You dare I say you fancy Sheffield United against Cardiff, but the way they've been going on, I do not know. And then
shout the scores out, then let Richard tot them up, and we'll all finish if we shout the scores out. Come on.
Richard's going to top them up. He's looking for his pen and
Come on,
paper.
mate. The way it's standing now, and see if we can forecast. See if we can forecast the top 4.
That'll be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Oh, Evan. What do you want us to do?
Like, pretend that it's happening and see how everybody ends up at the end after 49 games.
Right, who
How
wants?
many games are left?
There's
Are
4
we
games.
all on the same line?
I think so.
None of that. No, isn't.
Aye, we are. We've all got the same amount of games.
Oh, I bet that game tonight said 1 off in it. Aye, that's right. Because we've only got 3 games in, or 4 games.
But we'll make it easier
Yeah.
if you want. We'll start with Ian and Davey with the first one then. Sheffield United against Cardiff. What do you think the score's going to be on that one?
Sheffield will win. 3 now. 3 goals, I mean. 3 points.
3 points. So Richie's jotting that down. Jacob, Burnley, Sheffield United. What do you think the result will be?
You mean Burnley and Cardiff? I mean Sheffield and Cardiff, or
Burnley
about
Burnley against Sheffield United. They're playing each other on the 21st of this month. What do you think the score will be?
2-1 Burnley.
Oof. Yep. It's 2-1 Burnley. You doing your Carol Vordemans there, Richie?
Aye.
You can do this.
Large, 5 small.
You can do this one. You can do this one, Richie. Stoke against Sheffield United.
Oh, I would fancy Sheffield United getting a win there, like against Stoke.
Yeah.
And the last game of the season is Sheffield United against Blackburn, and I'm going for a 2-0 win for Sheffield United against Blackburn.
Yeah.
And shall we move on to Sunderland?
Yes.
We'll start.
No, we're not in it. We're not in it.
Forget us then. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, because we're already up, aren't we? We're in the playoffs.
Good point then. Right then, Davey, we'll start with you then. Bristol City against Sunderland, because they're playing us. So what do you think the score will be there?
Draw.
Droopy draws.
Yeah.
Jacob, what do you reckon between Luton and Bristol City?
3-1 Bristol.
Convincing 3-1 against Bristol. Richie, Leeds against Bristol City.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Leeds could already be up by then, mind.
Still fancy Leeds, wouldn't you? You would still say like they would go for it because they want to win the league, really, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to say Leeds for that one, like.
Ooh, this could be Bristol City out of it.
And the last one, I'm going to go for a draw. Bristol City against Preston. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw on that one.
Like that, haven't they?
Oh, I know. Let's quickly go
Still
into
wondering who the manager is, aren't you, Cabbie?
Oh, can somebody just ban him, please? And a bugger of hell. Right, let's go with our favourite team. Davey, we'll start with you because I'm already playing at the minute. We'll go on to the next game. Coventry against West Brom. A tasty tie, that. What do you think will happen then?
West Brom. I'll go for West Brom.
Woo, a West Brom win.
Yes.
Jacob, Plymouth against Coventry. Plymouth are at home and they really are good at home, Plymouth.
Oh, that's not an easy game. Need the points in all, don't I?
3-1 Coventry, Jacob, you say?
Right.
2-1 Coventry.
He's gone 2-1 Coventry.
He's done them well, hasn't he, Lampard? He's set him up. He's set Coventry up really well since he's come in.
Yes, aye. Oh, next one is Richie, Luton, Coventry. Who do you fancy?
Luton, Coventry. Luton's been right. They've already lost the last game. That was 6. I've gone for a draw. I think it's going to be one of them teams Luton like.
Luton's fighting for their lives.
They are. And he's a tasty one. Last one of the season. Coventry against Middlesbrough.
Ooh, that's the game of the season.
That's the last game of the season. That is tasty. My God. I'm going to go for a draw on that one.
Right, that's it, isn't it? Oh, including Millwall now? No.
Well, we can do. We've still got. We can do West Brom, Middlesbrough, Millwall because they're in it. We can quickly go through it.
Right.
Why not? Davey, obviously, you. What did you say? Coventry, West Brom. Did you say? You already gave a result for that, didn't you? What did you say?
I have. The other one.
Right, we'll ignore that one then because you've already given that one. Jacob, West Brom against Derby. What do you reckon?
3-1 West Brom.
3-1 West Brom. Richie, Cardiff, West Brom.
I've gone for another West Brom win. Gone for a 1-0.
Last game of the season, they're at it again. West Brom against Luton. So Luton could be spoiling the party for a lot of teams. Oh my God. I'm going to go for a Luton win. 2-1.
What was your first score, Davey? What did you say for the first match?
He didn't because he's already says Coventry West Brom in the last one. So
Right, got you. Agreed.
Millwall.
No, not Middlesbrough next.
Oh, Middlesbrough, come on.
Aye. Right, Davey, Middlesbrough at home to Plymouth.
Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough 3 points. Jacob, Sheffield Wednesday against Middlesbrough.
I'm going to go with 2-1 Sheffield Wednesday.
2-1 to the Owls.
Yeah.
Richie, Middlesbrough, Norwich.
Oh, I'm going to go for a draw.
You're going for the draw. And we've already said Coventry, Middlesbrough. So
Right.
let's go for the last one, which is the team that no one likes, Millwall.
Millwall. What's some gun up there?
Davey, Blackburn, Millwall.
Millwall.
Millwall 3 points. Jacob, Millwall, Norwich.
Oh, I think, 2-1 Millwall.
2-1 Millwall. Richie, Millwall against the Swansea.
Oh, Swansea, just because they beat us.
Oh, well, I'm
What's the last game?
Last game's Burnley, Millwall, and I'm going to go for a Millwall win because Burnley will be already up.
Tell you what, Millwall's got a good running apart from that last game.
They have, but like whether I don't know. My God, it's this twists and turns, isn't there?
So do you want scores on the doors then?
Get on,
Yes,
do you want to say where we are?
Who's the top four? Who's gonna get?
So the top point scorers on here would have been Sheffield United, then ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we've got Bristol City and Millwall.
I thought Millwall would. Yeah, Millwall's got a chance here.
Say that again.
That's such a running as that.
Say that again, Richie. Just broke up a bit. I didn't quite hear you. That. What did you say? Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, Sunderland, and then Bristol City and Millwall.
Ooh,
That's Borough and West Brom out of it.
that's a huge thing, isn't
I
it?
think of a shout that like.
And they've even considered Millwall, did you?
Like I say, they've got every right as everybody else. They're in with a shout, aren't they?
They've got your mate as
The
manager.
last 3 games and all.
Oh,
aye, yeah.
There'll be some final lap with him in the charge, wouldn't it?
Oh, I
Him
know.
and Reggie. Woohoo!
I'm just going to quickly run up through some of the messages, and then that'll be the end of the show. Ian Brown says Liverpool joined the race for Rig. Pixel Rich says Jacob's got my thoughts too. Bristol, Coventry, possible Borough. Ian Brown says Sheffield, Millwall and West Brom. That's wishful thinking, but it's still wide open. John says Sheffield, Sunderland, Bristol and Coventry. Tricia says, I just hope all of you are right and we smash the playoffs. John says Borough a decent side on their day, and if we play them, we will have big problems indeed. Ollie says, and my playoffs would be Sheffield United v Coventry, 1-0 to Sheffield United, with Bruta scoring. Ian Brown says that is the decider, Coventry and Borough. That is a huge game. Colin still says Sunderland Smoggies in the final. Oh my God, that'll be mental, that wouldn't it? Davey says, David Walker says, Smoggies won't make playoffs, and John says Leeds and Burnley promoted. They will last 3 seasons, autumn, winter, and spring. Well, that's the end of the show. Massive.
Been a nice change tonight, isn't it?
It has. Massive thanks to Jacob for joining us tonight, and Richie and Davey. Have you enjoyed yourselves?
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah,
Thanks to Richie for kicking the scores.
Absolutely. Is there any dog walking tonight, Davey?
Eh?
Is it dog walking tonight?
Aye, I'm going for them now.
All right. Look after them ducks.
Yeah, look after them ducks.
Anyway, good night, lads. Thanks very much for taking part.
Take care.
See you later. See you, Jacob. Davey, Richie. Ta-ra, mate. See you later, lads. Ta-ra. And that's a good night for myself as well. So, massive thanks all. Love yous all. Yous are all brilliant. And we'll catch yous